Level 1. You wake to silence. No alerts. No ledger chimes. No bank app breathing at the edge of sleep. You sit up. The room looks the same. The world does not. You step outside. A city that remembers how to move without counting coins. Shops have signs that read, "Take what you need. Return what you can." Lines form, not for money, but for permission, for resources, for fairness. You reach for your pocket, empty, not because you spent it, because it never existed. The idea of wealth, paper, numbers, property, has been erased overnight. Confusion punches you first, then curiosity. How do you buy a sandwich when nobody bills you? How do you pay for medicine when price tags are gone? You watch someone hand a child a bag of fruit, a tiny ledger of hands passing things. Trust replaces transactions. You realize value still exists. It has simply been decoupled from coin. People measure worth by who helps, who fixes, who teaches. You feel naked and strangely free. An announcement drones across the square. Resource hubs opening, priority by need, work by skill, allocation by consensus. You follow the crowd toward the first hub. The future calls like a bell. Level 2. Inside the hub, everything hums with deliberate order. A wall of screens shows water levels, crop yields, energy reserves. No prices, only availability. You read names, committees, stewards, neighbors. You hear a woman say, "We assess needs, not purchasing power." A man argues for more meds for the elderly. Calm hands add his voice to a ledger of voice. You are asked what you can offer. You think of your job. Your title feels thin, like an old uniform. Skill becomes currency. A mechanic maps out tools. A teacher writes schedules on a board. You volunteer. You feel the lift of purpose, but power still concentrates. Control over access becomes the new form of influence. The people who hoard knowledge, technical skill, or strategic roles are elevated. You watch them gather in hushed corners. Networks replace banks. Reputation replaces credit scores. A small device tracks contributions, time, labor, expertise. You can exchange hours of plumbing for hours of childcare. No one promises parity, only a promise to try. Outside, a neighborhood meeting buzzes. A debate grows heated. "Needs first," someone shouts. "Merit matters," someone counters. You realize the absence of money did not erase scarcity. It just changed the battleground. Level 3 markets still exist, but they look different. You find a market where people trade recipes, seeds, services. Barter is alive and creative. A musician trades a concert for fresh bread. A baker gives lessons in exchange for solar panels. No wallets, only hands and signatures of agreement. The black market mutates. Some people collect and hoard rare knowledge, specialized surgeries, proprietary software, seed strains. They protect it like a vault. You meet a woman who remembers prices like prayers. She whispers about old inequalities, how wealth once insulated some from hunger and some from effort. Now the insulation is gone. Now vulnerabilities are exposed. A child asks, "If there is no money, why do people still fight?" You cannot hand the child a simple answer. Power is not only money, it is control over systems. A truck with clean water arrives. Crowds form. Shouting swells. Volunteers try mediation. You roll up your sleeves and help distribute. Hands meet hands. Order inches forward. You feel the weight of responsibility. Without money, every choice is visible. Every refusal is political. You wash the back of your neck and keep working. Level 4. Laws rewrite themselves. Ownership becomes stewardship. Contracts focus on reciprocity. The courtroom is a community center. Disputes are judged by panels of peers. Punishments shift toward restoration and repair. You watch a man who stole medicine sit across from the patient he saved. They talk. They make a plan. You see the beauty and the danger of this intimacy. Without wealth, disgrace is communal. Reputations can be rebuilt or destroyed in vivid daylight. You volunteer to teach a night class in the hub. Education becomes a public good. You realize your small skills multiply. Communities that share knowledge bloom fast. But not everyone adapts. Some retreat into secrecy. They smuggle scarce tech. Networks of barter and barter of barter arise, opaque and tight. You are tempted to join them. Temptation is not about money anymore. It is about shortcuts. You resist. You build trust instead. Every handshake is a new contract. Every favor an investment in the common good. It feels fragile. It feels optimistic. Level 5. Technology recalibrates. Algorithms redistribute energy. Sensors track resource flows. You can see where food travels in real time. But code is written by people. Who programs fairness? Who decides what need means? You find a group of coders bent over open source protocols. They argue about thresholds. How much water is enough? Whose surgery gets priority? You learn how decisions are compressed into if-then rules. A single variable can change lives. You sign up to test a distribution algorithm. Late nights, whiteboards, coffee. Your choices are literal tests. You feel the weight of making binary choices for human lives. The community audits the code openly. Transparency becomes the new currency of power. A whistleblower exposes an exploit. Someone was gaming the distribution by inflating need. You discover loopholes. Even without cash, people find leverage. You fight to close the gap. You learn to distrust easy solutions. Human judgment remains essential. You balance data and mercy. The algorithm becomes better, but never perfect. Level 6 culture flips. Status no longer hinges on cars or condos. It hinges on contribution and resilience. You notice new rituals. Monthly sharing circles, celebration of repair, honors for mentoring. Influence becomes social, not fiscal. Still, old hierarchies claw back. Some communities reinvent aristocracies of expertise. You confront a familiar truth. Wherever humans gather, stratification follows. But you also witness acts of radical generosity. A team rebuilds a roof after a storm. Neighbors teach a lost trade in a single afternoon. You get called neighbor by a stranger. It lands like a benediction. You start to measure your life differently. How many people did you help today? Who will teach your child? You fall asleep thinking of those questions. You wake to them humming. Level 7. 1 year in, the world is not utopia. It is a workbench. You stand at a crossroads. Do you hoard specialized knowledge for leverage? Do you lobby to make your role indispensable? Or do you teach, share, and make the system resilient? You choose. You start a small cooperative, a clinic that trades care for community contributions. You open the books. Everyone sees flows. The clinic survives. A nearby group does not. They secret their supplies. Then their neighbors stop sharing. Isolation breeds collapse. You understand the long lesson. Wealth was a blunt tool. Inequitable, efficient, brutal. A world without it is delicate. It requires constant labor, ethical labor. This future is messy. This future is human. You walk back into the square. People gather around a bonfire of shared stories and repaired radios. You listen as a young voice says, "We are the new ledger." You smile. You add your name to the story. You realize the final truth. Wealth was never only things. It was relationships. You decide in the small daily ways what to invest in. And tonight, you invest in repair. The fire crackles. Your world, without wealth, is raw, imperfect, and alive. What will you build with it?